And welcome in. We are about to get the decision from one Javien Toviano, one of the top safeties in the entire country, number 5 in the on-3 consensus in terms of the safety position. Josh, it's down to LSU, Texas A&M, Michigan. Georgia was also on the announcement graphic for him in terms of being in his top 5. Set the table for us a little bit in terms of Javien Toviano's recruitment.
Yeah, Javien Toviano has already made his decision. Did you know that?
I had a feeling.
He made his decision on August 25th before the start of his senior year. And he has said that despite making his decision, he wasn't going to let it out, wasn't going to leak it. And guess what? Javien has done an incredible job of keeping everybody quiet, including the team that he might commit to as soon as we get this live stream going. But I think it comes down to LSU and Texas.
Okay, and the RPM is saying 90-ish% towards LSU, but I mean, we've seen an RPM buster before. What's the feel in terms of the hat signs right now? Because I think LSU, on the picture we saw on Twitter, LSU is furthest left, followed by A&M, Michigan, then Texas. Any hat signs in play here?
Been to a lot of commitment ceremonies, JD. Number one thing to look for, did he spend the money to get a full hat? Sometimes they'll pull the fake with the visor. If a team has a half hat or just the visor, you know it's not them. Then the second thing you got to look for is which of these hats came from the gas station. Because if it didn't come from Lids, then he's not committing there, okay? Just shout out to Lids.
Crucial.
But seriously, if you look at the hats, look at the one that might have been tried on.
Yep.
If you can see a tag on it, if you can see the cardboard still in there, he's not going there.
A lot of factors in play here with the hat signs. Also, one thing you have always told me as we've gotten closer and closer to National Signing Day, got to track the visits. And LSU and Texas are both sitting there with 4 total visits, A&M at 3. What's the thought process around tracking the visits? I know Brian Kelly was in home recently as December 6th. What's the thought process around his visits?
All right, so let's talk about this. He went to Michigan over the summer. Only took 2 official visits, which is, you get 5. You don't have to take all 5, but they're paid for. So a lot of recruits do take all 5. Javien Toviano only took 2. 1 to Michigan over the summer, and then he went to go check out LSU in September. He's also made 4 visits, I think it is, to Texas. 3 visits to Texas A&M. He's an in-state Texas product, so you would think that the Texas schools would have that edge in getting him on campus more. But it comes down to LSU and Texas, and I think that what LSU has done at the DB position over time and what Brian Kelly has done in his first season in the Bayou, I like LSU's chances here.
Let's say it is a 2-horse race. Let's say it is LSU. Let's say it is Texas. Who would this commitment mean the most to in your mind?
I think it would mean more to Texas right now because it would be not a recruiting machine buster, but a mega buster. You said he's in at 90-ish%. It's more like 97.8% in favor of LSU right now. And I think Texas comes in at 4.1%.
Yep.
So if we get to sit here and watch a upset like that happen on our second live stream commitment, hey, we're doing something right.
I feel like we're maybe good luck at that point if it is an RPM buster. But let's talk about the top 10 implications here. LSU at 5, Texas at 6, you got A&M at 15. Let's say you get a mega buster, A&M somehow finds a way to land Javien Toviano here. How much do you anticipate them potentially catapulting into that rankings?
Could be, in a perfect Jimbo Fisher world, it could be a mega finish for them because if they were able to land Toviano, maybe now you get a little bit more momentum with in-state prospect 5-star Peyton Bowen, who is hardly committed to Notre Dame at this point, definitely looking around, has already said that he wants to make a, quote, final decision. And then you got David Hicks, who is committed to them, but they are hosting him on a visit this weekend. Oregon and Oklahoma are also heavily involved with David Hicks. So just that kind of momentum right now coming off of the season that Texas A&M had would be crucial. I don't think it's going to happen, but we've seen stranger things.
Stranger things happen. In recruiting, if you stick around long enough, Josh, like you've told me, some funny things end up happening in the recruiting world. But let's talk a little bit about
let's look at,
Toviano.
also, before we go there.
Yeah, please.
LSU sitting at number 5.
Yep.
right there on the cusp of the top 5 with Texas sitting right behind them. So how incredibly important is this? Well, I think if Javien Toviano were to commit to Texas, it gives them a chance not only to make a run at a top 5 finish, but maybe a top 3 finish. You got to remember, still on the board for them, #1 linebacker in America, Anthony Hill, out of the state of Texas, and he will be in Austin this weekend. So we talk about momentum. We talk about LSU gaining momentum. Well, Texas also has an opportunity here to gain momentum. It's important for LSU, though, because they sit at #5, right? If they're going to make a run at a top 3 finish, the path to doing that goes through Javien Toviano, but it doesn't stop at Javien Toviano.
It never does.
They have to finish with 5-star cornerback Desmond Ricks, and that's very possible. Today, we find out what Javien Toviano does. Tomorrow, Desmond Ricks steps foot on campus at LSU for his final official visit, and that will come, 3 or 4 days before he announces his final decision. So,
Interesting.
LSU, with the addition of Javien Toviano today, could be on the move to potentially a top 3 class, but definitely solidifies themselves in that top 5.
And I mean, just the secondary alone, if they were to land a Javien Toviano, top 5 safety in the country, then you go and add a guy like Desmond Ricks. I mean, we talk so much about DBU. Who's DBU? Well, LSU, if they were to land both those guys, that would be a really nice case to be made for the future of potentially DBU on the Bayou.
And you have to do it this year because you got a new coach in place, and more importantly, you lost your DB coach, who was a legend, Corey Raymond. Corey Raymond set all of this up for LSU to give them the DBU moniker. Well, he's not there anymore. He went to Florida last season. This is your first full cycle of recruiting defensive backs without the great Corey Raymond. It makes a statement. You land Javien Toviano, you land Desmond Ricks, you stay at the top with DBU. It's not about the coaches, it's about the program.
Well, I think that's one of the things that you just hit absolutely on the head. How much of a statement is this for Brian Kelly? Because what was the conversation with him at Notre Dame? Well, hey, how much is he going to recruit? Can he recruit? Does he want to recruit? Now he's at LSU with all of the resources, all the access to talent in the world. For him to land a top 5 safety in his first real class as the head coach, like how much of a statement would that be for him at LSU?
Ooh, we might have some action.
Hey, you know what? Forget what I'm saying. Javien Toviano throwing him the mic. Enjoy the commitment, folks. We'll talk to you after.
2 interceptions, 1 return for a touchdown, a fumble recovery, a 3-phase player, a 3-year starter, a 2-year captain, the co-founder of End Zone Landscapes, and an Under Armour All-American. What's happening today not only impacts Javien's life, but it changes his parents' life, and it changes his future children's life. Proudly, and we're looking forward to celebrating this with you because I'm going to get a chance to be your defensive coordinator. Welcome to the Under Armour All-American gang. This is an awesome day, even more awesome that he gets an opportunity to celebrate this with his friends, his family, and most importantly, his teammates. Please celebrate and welcome Javien Toviano.
Everybody in this room has played a part of my life that helped me get to the point I'm here right now for. And none of this would be possible without God. And these people standing up here next to me believe me every day since I was 6 years old and started playing this sport. A brother who's not here who really was an inspiration for me all the way up to this point now. And, you know, words can't describe how much it's impacted me. I want to thank all you guys, especially Gage Wager, especially Gage. Gage was a big role in my life and high school career, and as well as the other guys up here. I want to thank my coaches, Coach Wager, most of our guys, Coach Sharam, and all the guys on the older staff, Coach Pollard, and the guys on new staff, Coach Williams, for helping me develop into the human being and the player that I am today, prioritizing character and really just instilling those things that I'll be able to take on my next journey and my next career to these places I'll be able to choose from. And my teammates for pushing me every day, making sure I'm busting my tail at practice, making sure I'm, not late or, not missing summer workouts and, making sure I'm going hard in the weight room. So, I mean, it's been a crazy journey. I've enjoyed every second of it. Words can't describe how happy I am to be in front of you guys today, and I'm proud that the crowd we got is showing. Absolutely. So the question was, what made these four my finalists? So I'm gonna go list by list or hat by hat. So Texas really, this was my first bigger offer. My second offer was my first Power 5 offer. So the relationships that I've created with that coaching staff there goes far beyond anything off football or in normal life. So we really talk about any and everything. And I mean, they showed me a plan and where I'd fit and, the milestones that I could really take advantage of and achieve while I'm at that university. Michigan, this was a school that really was an outlier, it was an outcast at first, but it made its way into my finalists because of the culture and the vibe that I got from there. It's a lot similar to this place, prioritize the character and the person over the player ultimately, and that's kind of what I want to be a part of. Texas A&M was a school that made the list because I wanted to stay, I thought I wanted to stay home, but it felt the most homey at the time. And I mean, Coach Rushing, Coach Fisher, they made me a priority. And, I can't really think too much about it. LSU was a school that came in as of late. They showed me that I was a priority for the past 6 to 8 months. I've been there a lot. As a lot of you guys know, that's probably where you guys think of going, but but no.
Let's go.
The class that they've showed me and the priority that they made me really stood out to me and made me feel like I'll be, the next DBU alum out of 10. But yeah. Yes, sir. So for the next 3 or 4 years, I'll be furthering my education and athletic abilities to
And there you have it. Javien Toviano is going to be an LSU Tiger joining Brian Kelly's staff. How about it, Josh? Just initial reaction of Javien Toviano deciding he's going to be a Tiger for the next 3 to 4 years.
That was great. First of all, shout out to Billy Embody and everybody at Bengal Tiger. They provided us this live stream. We just kind of hijacked it from them.
Absolutely, yep.
But man, that was a fun commitment ceremony. I thought it was great that he was presented his Under Armour jersey. That's an excellent honor for a high school athlete. And then for him to be able to get up there and articulate everything about those teams and keep us in suspense when we really thought it was LSU all along.
Yeah.
You and I looked at each other when he said, there was a couple giveaways during that when he said that I had thought I wanted to stay in state. So we thought, okay, well, that checks the box with LSU. And then he kind of gave the crowd the look like, I know everybody thinks I'm going there. And Javien Toviano doesn't say much throughout his recruitment. So we thought, because Sam Spiegelman does a great job reporting on him, that we had the pulse of his recruitment up until that moment. But it does go LSU's way. Can you believe that LSU has added their 7th defensive back to this class? And they're not done. So what does that tell you about Brian Kelly's opinion of the DB room when he got there?
I mean, I think it just shows he's capitalizing on so much of what we have perceived LSU to be over the years. Like you said, with Corey Raymond having been at LSU for so long, and now he's obviously not with the program, and he's at Florida. With what he's doing in this recruiting class, building up the back end, you got to have big, fast guys in the secondary to be able to compete in the SEC. And so Brian Kelly, great awareness and great aggressiveness on the recruiting front to go and get those guys to compete and to be elite in the SEC. Josh, what does this tell you about LSU going forward, and does this solidify a top 5 class for them?
Still trying to catch my
I know,
breath
the
from
sleight
that
of hand,
one.
too, with the luggage.
That was good.
Great.
That was really
great.
good. It shows, okay, so they got 25 commitments right now. They're not done yet. There's a couple more pieces out there on the board, but this solidifies, in my mind, that LSU is, I don't want to say it yet because I'm not penciling in Desmond Ricks just yet, but I do think that they have a good chance to lock themselves into a top 5 finish. So glad we could sit here and watch this together.
The eye of the tiger,
Yet
baby.
again.
Beautiful. Awesome. Well, folks, if you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, this is your place 12 months out of the year for all things college football. We don't want you to miss a second of it, all right? Josh Newberg crushing it with On3 recruiting coverage, with the Inside Scoop twice a week, tons of short form content as well. The hard count is going to be live here in a matter of 50 minutes, so stay tuned for that. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. We will see y'all next time.